I thought this would be a good time to start planning our next lifetimes.
Oh, jeez.
I'm a big believer in reincarnation, and this English mystic that I just read, the Indian mystic, the guru, sorry, said that you should plan your next lifetime if you have some big purpose. And I know exactly why I came for this lifetime and where, but I confess I'm confused about what I could do for the next lifetime. And I thought that you would be able to plan your next lifetime too, because it's obvious that he doesn't want to come back as a handsome, brilliant, a good-looking, broad-shouldered, tall, handsome guy.
I won't come back. As a lumberjack. I won't come back as a lumberjack. I swear. Boy, if that ain't a hell of a life, I told him what is better than that. You know, climbing trees, chopping down crap, dragging them around it. Woo! And you get to hang out with guys a lot too, you know that? Hey, like my shirt is a gift. Guess who gave it to me?
This shirt was a mistake because I told him it reminded me of my lumberjack boyfriend in the past. But anyway, my purpose in this lifetime...
He had some lumber too, didn't he? You remember?
My purpose in this lifetime was to be born to a gay father. I realized that, almost immediately. Well, here I am with a huge problem. And my purpose was to talk about this, get this out in the public consciousness, gay father who marries and has children, which was quite common, I think, among men like my father, that I looked around and noted.
Well, they did
in older generation and younger generation.
See, the difference now is that in the old days, back then when you rode horses.
Mm-hmm. The horse age, yes.
Yes. And when they went into town to a saloon, most of the guys have been looking at each other for a long time out there on the range, and so they want to see some femininity, some pulchritude, So
yeah.
There weren't a lot of gay bars in those days, gay saloons, see?
Right.
Now we have them. In fact, I didn't throw a rock, well, almost throw a rock on 3 of them. And, but see, they kind of spread out. But in the old days, they kind of just hung together in a group, and they'll buy the cattle, and so.
Well, exactly. I mean, they came to town, like my father. The cowboys used to go out and everything they did, they had to camp out for days. There was no roads, it was a primitive country, so naturally. And then they'd go to town maybe and see some little gal and marry her. It was customary. You could get married in a day or 2 after you met this woman. So she wouldn't know. And, then women were taught to not really question too much what men do. And so there needed to come along a woman like a girl like myself when I was little, who would question this a lot more and who would say, I think my dad is doing this and I think my dad is doing that, which I did, and that was my purpose in my lifetime.
All right, so what is the format here?
Well,
you're plan
my next lifetime.
All right. I thought we've rehashed your...
well, I haven't accomplished hardly a thing. My vision of doing this was to get my memoirs published, Daughters of the Shadow Men. I've made a play about it, I've done memoirs about it, I did a novel, and get those published so that people would say, oh yeah, well that's something. and get my ideas about having a gay father, who was hiding it, of course. But I haven't been able to do that, so now I'm in a quandary. Should I come back the next lifetime and continue on with my purpose of getting Daughters of the Shadow Men published in the next lifetime? What do you think?
Are you going to interrupt me now while I'm going to say something?
I promise. I will just keep quiet.
Already. You know what I think?
What?
I think you ought to come back as a robot.
I'm not going to be paying attention to him. This is why I interrupt him. I'm trying not to interrupt him and let him say what he was going to say.
Who are better looking and more intelligent than a lot of people.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, why don't you say, this man, is disappointed with the life he led, obviously, because he's trying to get out of it. He wasn't content with being
when you point your finger like that,
what he was born to.
Back at you.
So,
3 pointing back at you. You get that? You ever get that before?
So,
what would
your next lifetime be? Even better looking? Even smarter?
I hope it's on a different planet if they can work it out. They come down and visit me again and get me off this planet.
Okay. Well, let's see. If I come back in the next life, I could just continue on where I left off in this one.
You didn't like the robot idea? I thought the robot idea was real good.
No, it's obvious you aren't taking this serious. You don't believe in reincarnation?
Why didn't you come back as a hermaphrodite?
No.
No, I'm seriously. There must have been somebody in a previous life that said,
it was hard enough.
I want to be a hermaphrodite.
Coming back as not a beautiful.
That to me is not a decision you would really want to make, is it? I mean,
in this world. But what happened is, I also decided to be born in Mormon, Utah, so that I could fight the church.
For hopers, I would say.
I know I did. I can feel it. And when
Sicily sounds good to me for you.
When I was dragged off and incarcerated in Utah for just being what I am, just being observant and saying what I think. This is really what was the back of it. And then that kind of disabled me for the rest of my life. So I was limited in what I could do because I found out the problem was so great to be born to a gay father in Mormon, Utah. I mean, how much harder life could you get? And it just sort of floored me. It just sort of crippled me right off the bat. I thought, oh my, I have really bit off a lot more than I could handle and stay healthy.
There's certain Eastern religions who have this, that if you're good, you go up to the next level, and if you're good, you go to the next level. And obviously, you must have been pretty ass bad even to get up to where you were, right?
I don't know. I'm just wondering. I'm wondering. I'm trying to figure it out. I think, the way I look at it, I like challenges. Really tough challenges.
Well, obviously that must be one of the reasons you hang around here.
Yes. And, since I met you, I have been totally baffled why a man who still looks like this at 70 years old.
71.
Oh, 71.